What is going on, guys? This is Dom Gerald here. I'm a drummer here in Charlotte, North Carolina. I play for Elevation Worship and John Mark McMillan. And I thought it'd be really fun to do a lesson on how to incorporate triggers, with the Roland pad, using it in a live setting. I know there's not a lot of lessons out there that kind of demonstrate on how to set it up or how to import samples or whatnot. There may be, but I had to do a lot of digging. But I thought it'd be fun to kind of do another fun lesson and show you how to do it. So in this lesson, I'm going to be taking a song from John Mark's record called Unhaunted and show you how I use this bar trigger. It's a Roland BT1. I've imported a sample that's an oil lamp sample into here because I don't have an oil lamp to play live, and obviously it wouldn't register that well through the house. So best way to do it is to sample it, put it in here, and then do it live. But yeah, so I'm going to show you the beginning of the song, what it sounds like, just drums on its own, and then I'll show you an example of what it sounds like with the song towards the end of the lesson. So check it out.
3, 4.
All right, first thing you want to make sure you do is find the trig in and run your cable from your trigger to the Roland pad. And I have mine going to right here. So that's the first thing you want to make sure that you check. And up in the Roland pad, you can trigger up to 4 triggers, but you'd have to make sure that you have a splitter. But yeah, so right now I have mine in 1 and 2, and I'm going to show you on the screen what you do next. I already have my kit named Unhaunted, but what you need to do is go to Menu, and then scroll over to Setup. So we're going to set up our trigger and make sure everything is working properly. So you click Trig In, and right here is where you set to whatever trigger that you have. I have the BT1, so I'm going to scroll over to BT1, and I'm going to strike my pad to see if it's picking up. Okay, so we're good. So we're set there. So now we know that it's working. We just need to set a sample to it. So from this point, you exit out of here and you go to pad, and right now, sorry, my screen is not clearest, but I have it set to my Persephone snare, which is the sample that I was telling you guys about, the oil lamp sample. And from here, you go to mode. I always turn my dynamics off. Normally it'll be on. If you want to control the volume and velocity of how you hit it, but I normally have it off so it's at the same volume every time that I hit it. And so you have that set, and then up here is where you pick your sample. And so from this point, we will exit out of here. And then another important thing that is super helpful that I did not have help with when I first started using triggers, but I noticed that when I would be playing in like big stages or arenas that my triggers would offset, and it was due to like the vibration of the stage. And so I was like, well, can't use my triggers because they're just offsetting in the middle of a song. And so I had to find out that you need to set the threshold. So you go to Setup and then scroll up to Pad Sensitivity. And here's where you set your threshold. Right now I have mine set at 8. Oh, sorry. I have the threshold set at 8, the pad sensitivity set at 12. And this is just something that you have to toy around with.
depending on what stage that you're playing on.
So now we're going to jump over to the computer, and I'm going to show you guys, once you have your Roland pad connected, how to go about assigning a sample to whatever trigger that you're using, and then also how to go about, assigning it to whatever kit that you want to assign it to. So let's check that out, and then we'll be right back. All right, so here we are at the computer. You're going to click on the Roland Pad app, bring it up, give it a second to load. Also, when you're importing samples, make sure that you're using 16-bit because the Roland Pad won't do 24-bit. So that's a good note for you. So now I'm going to scroll through these kits and pick out which one that I want to use. Obviously, I want to use my Unhaunted kit, and I've already imported my Persephone sample snare into the trigger 1 slot right there. And how I did that is I scrolled down over here to the left, found I have multiple different ones, but found the one with the tone that I wanted and dragged it into that spot. So once you do that, you can close out the Roland Pad app. Make sure everything is disconnected before disconnecting your USB, and you're good. So that was basically it on how to import a sample to your trigger and into your Roland Pad and use it live. And so I hope this was extremely helpful for you guys. Obviously, you can dive into it a lot deeper, but just this little bit of information to get you started, I think will be super beneficial. So thank you guys for checking this lesson out, and we'll see you next time. Peace.